What's going on, world? It's your boy VO the Face, and I'm here with my boy Minnie. What's up?
What's up?
And I'm here with my boy Gerhard, our resident Viking fan. What's happening?
Ta-da!
Yeah, we in here. He let the whole skull chant
Yo.
out, and we're just here to find out more about the Vikings, man. I fucks with them. I do have a deep found respect for them, with my grandfather admiring that team, as well as just my love for Randy Moss, AP. You know what I'm saying? The Vikings have always been a mainstay in my football lifestyle. But we need to talk about this game that happened in week one. Let's go ahead and do a review. And before I go to our Vikings fan, we'll go to our Broncos fan. How did it feel as an opposition? What did you see from the Vikings?
What I saw from the
Mini.
Vikings was a lot. Gerhard made a good point earlier that Mike Zimmer has a good defense, but they're not communicating well. It's not a Mike Zimmer defense yet. But I did see a few good things out of there. It's like they weren't completely out of position. It's not like we were just walking all over them. It was just little steps here and there, details, man. Vikings, they have a long way to go as far as their depth's concerned. But if we see starters in there that have known the system for a few years, like it could have been a different story, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, it could have been a different
Yeah.
story. And I think the title of that book would have been It's Just Preseason.
Yes,
What
of
do you
course.
think about that, Gerhard? Was there things that you seen that were concerning? And we'll all recognize that it's just preseason. So go ahead and let us know what you thought about that last week's game.
Yeah, it's all momentum. Football is always momentum, and we were looking okay. We had the first three and out on Drew Lock. We're like maybe we were all right.
Uh-huh.
Quickly that changed with field position, and we had Dakota Dozier, which any Viking fan will cringe just at that name from last year, and not liking to see him in the offensive line this year. But of course, an ex-Viking, Shamar Stephen, now on the Broncos,
Yeah.
had beat him, and there was a holding, and that had caused safety. And you saw the whole game explode from that point. And that's
Uh-huh.
momentum working heavy, and that's just kind of football at its finest. It just didn't go our way. Offensive line is our Achilles heel, and Vikings fans are not going to like to talk about that, but we've been talking about it for a long time.
Yeah,
So,
it's tough. It's a tough thing to discuss when you're not tough in the trenches because it makes you seem not tough as a team. But we know the Vikings are tough and they're strong in the trenches, knowing that because they think that the second leading rusher in the league last year, Dalvin Cook, or was he the leading rusher? I don't want to misspeak.
I actually don't know. I know him and Derrick Henry are the guys, but
Yeah, they,
I'm not exactly sure.
yeah. I mean, Dalvin
Pretty
Cook,
sure it was
he's
Derrick Henry number one and Dalvin number two.
yeah. I think
Sound
Might
right?
Dalvin was the leader going into week like 17, and Derek
Yeah.
needed some
Hope
crazy
I'm not
amount, and
stepping
he
on my
got
boy.
it. Go ahead,
Oh,
Garrett.
I said I hope I'm not stepping on my boy's stats, but I think he was number two.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
yeah.
I mean, Dalvin's a problem, and he's also a comp for Gervonta Williams, which was the Denver Broncos' second round running back. So, say Gervonta Williams is a Dalvin Cook. What could we be looking for in a running back like that, fantasy wise, and just strategic on the field? What is Dalvin Cook? Who is Dalvin Cook?
He's a workhorse. He's elusive. Um, if you get a comparison like that, you're going to be really happy. Your offensive line might kind of go for a blueprint of what we're trying to do with the zone blocking. Obviously, pass blocking can be just a mess, but zone blocking can be just beautiful for us. And we'll cut lanes 10 yards down, and you're not going to catch him again. He's too good in the open field. And if you got that with Javante Williams, you got a lot.
Dalvin Cook is all those superlatives that you mentioned in a running back, elusive, fast, strong, and I'd be excited to have a player even 70% of the amount of Dalvin Cook. I want to move into the storylines, the Viking storylines, and I mean, maybe I'll kick this first one off and give you the question. Was it easier to see Stephon Diggs ball out knowing that you had Justin Jefferson? Like, was that like simultaneously week to week in the moment? Were you comparing stats? Were you disgusted? Where were you? Like, where were you as a Viking fan last year? 17 weeks of that, 16 weeks.
Yeah, bittersweet maybe. He became a problem for our locker room.
Mm.
That's never good for anybody, fans, players, coaches, even Stephon Diggs himself. So it was good that he could have that new start. You're happy for the guy, but it makes it much easier to swallow with Justin Jefferson because you can't really say Diggs who, but you can say Justin Jefferson, and that feels better for sure. So
Right now,
Yeah.
Gerhard, can you tell me this? Like, could you still have had Justin Jefferson if you didn't trade away Stephon Diggs? Like, could you have Thielen, Jefferson, and Diggs at the same time? Does that make you like? Was that a
well,
possibility?
we got Justin Jefferson for the Diggs pick, or when we
Okay,
traded him, that was the pick
okay,
that we got. One
okay.
of them.
Because
It's
you
not
had two first
impossible, but
rounders that year, right?
I don't think he would have got slept on much longer if we would have needed to wait 5 more spots to
Right.
pick.
Okay.
Yeah, the Patriots were big time faulted for not taking one of those dynamic receivers that year. And look at them, you know what I'm saying? Justin Jefferson is shining, and it's good to see. Many, when you talk about that illustrious history of Vikings wide receiver, you got Sidney Rice, Randy Moss,
Yep.
Chris Carter,
Yep.
and Thielen. You got Diggs, you got Justin Jefferson. Where does Justin Jefferson rank with quick impact? Like, all these people really exploded on the scene.
Yeah.
Stephon Diggs,
Um,
the New Orleans
that,
kid,
that that's
Thielen, the big season,
that's a
fucking
really
just
good question.
yeah.
I think outside of Randy Moss, he's the most impactful wide receiver I've seen the Vikings have in his first year. Yeah,
Mhm.
Diggs blew up, kind of had some help. That year there was Sam Bradford was the quarterback, Case Keenum was the quarterback. The Minnesota Miracle. Diggs caught the pass. He was always really solid the whole season before that. But I really think Justin Jefferson as a rookie showed just out. Other than Randy Moss, he's, in my opinion, is the most influential, impactful wide receivers the Vikings have had or have ever had. I mean, Chris Carter holds a lot of stuff, but rookie young careers, yeah, he could be better than all of them. Who knows?
Yeah, I mean, as far as like, meteorite type impact, man, like I
I
really
think
like
it's
the
Randy
Sidney
Moss
Rice
one
era.
and
I like
Randy
that
Moss one
Sidney
and
Rice
Jefferson two.
explosion with Brett Favre, man.
He
That
did,
was
but
like
he was
incredible
kind of
when he
like
came
under the
on.
radar. Like Sidney Rice was kind of like under the
He
radar,
I
like
like
number
Sidney
two guy.
Rice, man.
Me too. But he was technically like a 1B kind of guy. Like there wasn't really a clear cut number one out there until Brett Favre got there. And of course he's gonna like Sidney Rice. But as far as most impactful wide receiver I've seen for the Vikings, and actually in the first 2 years, is probably Randy Moss one and Justin Jefferson two. Like the kid looks that good.
He's
He
really
just
is that
does.
good.
Yeah.
Gerhard, any storylines you want to bring to the table for the Minnesota Vikings? Practice
Yeah,
stuff.
there was a player that was high on the watch list. He was high on the watch list for me. His name was getting talked around on local radio before the game, and that was running back Nene Kwangwu, I believe from Washington State. But he's big. Delvin Cook says he's really fast, big, physical guy. I think there was an ankle or a knee tweak right before the game. He was supposed to get kick returns, punt returns, a lot of runs. They were going to use him around, see how he does in pass protection, and he didn't even get a play. So that was a bummer. That was, with enough starters already sitting out, you hate to see that from a piece that you want to know more about. But then the next man up was AJ Rose. I think he had 100 yards.
Yeah,
Granted,
great
he
game.
had a lot of carries, but he
Great
was
game.
kind of the only guy really there. So other than Amir Abdullah, but you know what you got with him.
Yeah.
Yeah, you said that one dude, somebody you want to know a lot more about, and I think I do kind of want to know a lot more about him. You said returning punts and kicks. I instantly go to like Darren Sproles. What's his
Yeah.
build? Is he a taller guy? Is he like a more like smaller guy, or like is he
I
like
think
still a
he's in
lid?
the
Like
6 foot plus. Sounds like he's pretty built, muscular. I have really small sample size of this guy. I haven't seen him play, so I mean, I've just seen a little bit of some practice, but
Somebody to be
Yeah.
interested in. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean anybody that returns punts and stuff as a running back, just because it is so rare and whatnot, you definitely think like the Darren Sproles, Philip Lindsay, littler type guy, James White. Does James White return punts? He might have
I think
before.
so.
When
Yeah,
he,
I think
yeah,
he has. You know what
especially in
I'm
his
saying?
first
But you,
years, he definitely did.
yeah, you
I think
definitely go ahead,
I
Gerhard.
think
This
I
is your
heard someone.
segment, Gerhard. Go ahead.
I think I heard someone allude to Josh Cribbs kind of style, and
Ooh,
if
yeah.
that's even it's kind of a
Yeah,
receiver running back hybrid build, thick, maybe take a beating on a kick and a punt return. Um, that's what we need.
you
So
Yeah.
know, like visually, if there was any team that could pull off having like a taller, long-legged punt returner, it would be the Vikings because
Yeah.
they were the first team I seen it with. They had Randy out there fielding punts and shit, and it
Yep.
was weird with his long legs,
American
and he'd
Cordell
just be out there.
Patterson,
yeah,
you
He
know,
was a
like
fool.
all
He was
that
a
stuff,
fool, man.
dude.
Cordell Patterson, he was
Yeah.
really good. Still in division with, I believe, Chicago now.
I think he is
Yeah,
still
so
Bears.
go, yeah. So we could wrap up that and go into the preview of your guys' upcoming game, which is at 6 p.m. Mountain Time, 7 p.m. y'all's time, Central.
hmm
Sorry.
hmm No,
And you guys are playing the Colts. Let me know what we should be looking for in this game, Gerhard.
the Colts getting on the phone and trying to get Nick Foles acquired now that Carson Wentz has gone down.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah.
Probably
I don't think they could
Man,
survive without him. I don't know.
man,
Super
poor
Bowl.
poor Wentz, man. Like he's just got Foles following him around him.
Yeah.
That's Foles gold. It's really unfortunate for them. Do we plan on seeing Dalvin or Kirk this weekend?
You're going to see Delvin. I don't know if you'll see him on the field. You'll see him on the sideline. I think I could see him getting a play, or a drive. That's about
Yeah.
it. And then I don't know what to expect from Kirk, but I got to see it. I want to see some starters.
Yeah.
I want to see a little more something fun to watch from the Vikings for sure.
And, Kirk was in COVID protocol, and is that why he didn't really partake and wasn't even on the sidelines the last preseason game against the Broncos?
Well, I think he's cleared that. He was
He's
part of
cleared
it.
now. Okay.
Yeah. He didn't start. I believe he was on the sidelines.
Okay. Okay.
Definitely, man. Well, that was
I can only see the
the
Broncos sidelines from my TV. I'm sorry.
what?
Like I said, I can only see the Broncos sidelines from my TV. I'm sorry.
Well,
That's
you've
fair.
been seeing a sad sideline as of late, but we know heartbreak, and so do the Vikings fans, and all of us do as fans. But it's fantasy time, man. We ready to get this going. We still in preseason form, but we just wanted to give you a lookout on the Minnesota Vikings. Thank you, Gerhard, for joining us. Minnie, as always,
Thank you.
plus sports. Yeah. All right.